because this is something we thought we would do here at KTN News, and that is speak to voters after they were done with the exercise and sort of gauge what the experience was like for them. So we've not asked them who they voted for, but we've just taken a look at their experiences. This is something we're doing in conjunction with TIFA, and then we can come back to you, Linda, and you can take a look at that and see if that forms part of the conversation. So we want to start by taking a look at the voter experiences in the county of Meru. So we ask simple questions like this one. What time they arrived at the polling station? I'm sure you've seen on social media lots of people saying that they found people in the queues at 2:30 in the morning. Some people slept within the polling stations. Well, we asked the people of Meru County, and this is what they said. So no one in Meru County was at the polling center before 4 a.m. And then just a small percentage were there between 4 and 6. So it looks like the people in Meru County were not so much in a hurry, but went in when the polls opened between 6 and 7, because that's where you have a majority. So 22% of the voters in Meru County went to the polling station between 6 and 7. And of course, another big number there, 15% towards 8 o'clock. And then another 11% from 8 to 9 in the morning. So this will be interesting, especially when we're taking a look at turnout. And then, of course, you can take a look at the time bands across the day. Another 11% got to the polling station by 10 o'clock, and by 11, 14% of them had shown up. So this is an interesting one. After 12, there were still people streaming in. 11% of those who were surveyed in this exit poll, of those who participated in this exercise in Meru County. Then, of course, once you get to the poll, this was another big one, wasn't it? Remember, they were doing it in alphabetical order, the first 4 letters A to D and so on. So we asked the people of Meru County how easy it was for them to locate the queue with their name, which was alphabetical, starting with their first name. For 45%, that's almost half, said it was very easy to locate the queue which had their name, and 33% saying it was easy. Yeah, so just a small percentage of them, 2%, said they found it very difficult to locate the queue which had their name. So looking like an easy exercise for them, at least in as far as finding the right queue with their name on it. So, of course, the first one is what time do you get to the polling station, and then you have to identify the queue with your name on it. And then we can take a look at the next one, because we asked them a couple of more questions. How long it took to vote from arrival time. Okay, so this is interesting. So many of them are voting within an hour of arriving at the polling center. That is 31%. And 29% took between an hour and 2, up to 3 hours, 20% of those that voted in Meru County, and just 10% who waited over 4 hours to cast their votes. So it was also interesting to see whether the proportion of first-time voters in Meru County, just 34% were first-time voters there, according to this poll that was done in conjunction with TIFA. So these are some interesting things to look at. So not a very big number of first-time voters who had a relatively easy time, about 1 to 2 hours, to cast their vote from the time they arrived there. So here's a very interesting one, because remember, it's also about perception. How likely is it for the voters in Meru, how likely do they think that this general election will be free from fraud and vote tampering? The people of Meru are not very optimistic. Look at that. 59%. Want to move to this one about whether it'll be a peaceful election, that is during the vote counting and after. 57% say, yeah, there will likely be peace during this process. 23% seem undecided. 5% did not want to answer. That is an interesting one to talk about. But just 15% thought it was unlikely. So this is something we will be doing here on KTN News as we continue to analyze this vote and as we continue to wait for the tally that is coming through from the National Tallying Center. Of course, Linda and her panel will be having a conversation about this. Interesting to see for some just how long they had to wait, what time they arrived at the polling center. That is just the data we've got for you from Meru County, but we'll be taking a look at a number of other counties as well here on KTN News. This is why we call this your official election station. Stay with us. We have more when we return.
Your election coverage starts here. Kivumbi 2017.